Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and on the newest episode of the Disney Magic Hour, we broke down and talked about Tron Legacy. So I thought I would do a quick Blu-ray review of Tron Legacy in 3D. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and put out videos every single day. You can also find me over Twitter and Instagram at MovieGuy365, as well as the Disney Magic Hour podcast. I will leave a link for that in the description. All right, speaking of the Disney Magic Hour podcast, which I appear weekly, we recently did a review of the original Tron, and then we followed it up a couple weeks later with Tron Legacy. So, as much as we talk about it, and hopefully, as I mentioned, I will leave a link for that in the description if you want to check out that podcast out. We have a lot of fun over there. It's a good time. So, me being over here on the channel, I thought, hey, why not do a review on the Blu-ray 3D? So, here we go. Tron Legacy, Blu-ray 3D. As far as the film goes, most of my thoughts I put, on the podcast itself, but I'll give you my general opinion. Well, I praised the original Tron for its, forward technological leaps as far as imagination and what you can put down on screen goes. Tron Legacy takes place several decades later, and I feel overall the story is more coherent than the original Tron. It definitely has a lot going for it. I enjoyed it a lot more now than I did when I first saw it. I always thought kind of like I was pairing it against the original, and I was like, nah, I'm not. Anyway, I actually do enjoy the movie. Olivia Wilde, of course, in one of her earlier roles is in this as Cora, and Jeff Bridges returns, of course, post Big Lebowski, where he pretty much is now the Big Lebowski and everything. But anyway, I still enjoy the film quite a bit. I like it a lot more now than I did back then, and I think overall it's a fun film. So, if you want to find out more and hear my thoughts more about it, go ahead, check out that podcast. But let me talk about the picture quality and the audio. Now, as far as 3D goes, I am a huge 3D fan and supporter. So, reviewing titles like this, I still watch them regularly, even though I have a purely 4K OLED and it does not support 3D, but I have my old 3D Sony that I still do testing on. And when I watch films, I generally will watch them through my PlayStation VR. So, this particular review, I'm going to judge solely on the PlayStation VR experience, but I did pop it in for my usual testing as far as, watching, things here and there comparatively. And overall, I feel the picture is fairly good as far as 3D goes. Now, of course, this is like a case of one movie chasing the dream of Avatar, where Avatar revolutionized 3D and how it's viewed in cinema. And while it's still prominent today in theaters, unfortunately, it's kind of dying out on the physical media market. One day, I'm hoping that's going to change, but I will always collect the physical media. Anyway, going back to it, as far as what we see goes, the first part of the movie, of course, taking place in the real world, is a 2D more or less experience. There really isn't a whole lot of 3D going on there, and that is, according to the beginning of the movie, where they give you a little note, that is the director's intent. Now, when the 3D kicks off is when Sam enters the grid, and I feel overall it's actually a really nice image. It's not anything close to what you're going to see with Avatar, unfortunately, and I've seen better 3D since, and even before that movie. It's just not quite there as far as 3D goes. It does have moments inside the grid, especially when there's one of the tanks flying around, during light cycle battles, that kind of thing. I like that they did the multi-level light cycle grid and just kind of going in and out. That's where the 3D really kicks in. But overall, it's a relatively flat image. It is actually not as impressive as I would have liked. It does shine here and there, but overall, it's kind of disappointing, to be honest, image. Things are, hit or miss, more or less, throughout the film. I didn't feel like it could have been as strong. It really could have been stronger than it actually was. If the world of the grid maybe was taken a little bit more, you actually explored this world more, and we get bits and pieces of it, but a lot of times this movie is relegated to indoor settings and one location, and it's long bits of time where that happens. But when somebody's jumping off a tall building or something, then you really get that 3D image, and it's overall immersive. I didn't really detect a whole lot of pop-outs. It does happen when during the battles and things like that, when a light cycle explodes or something to that, or somebody gets derezzed, then you get an occasional pop-out. But still, that could have been, I felt, a little bit stronger. As far as audio goes, we are given a Nice Dts 7.1. I feel that was a really decent sounding track. Also, really quick, going back to picture quality. We do have shifting IMAX ratios, and now it's also always a welcome change. That's something that unfortunately doesn't happen a whole lot here currently, but it does from time to time still like remind you that, hey, IMAX is a thing and we technically could do it. Well, that we should be getting it more, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, back to the audio. It is a fairly impressive audio track. I really enjoyed it, especially kicks in a lot when you do have like battles and things with light cycles. You get a couple, you know, surround sound bursts here and there, things whizzing by your head, that sort of thing. Overall, it's a good track. It's actually fairly impressive, and the channels are nice, discreet. I could tell when something's happening on my, you know, back left or, you know, mid back left, that kind of thing. Really nice overall audio track. It's not like what we get today with the Disney Atmos. You know, thankfully, like there are times before that, and one of these discs like this reminds you that it does happen. So overall, I feel Tron Legacy 3D is kind of a medium level 3D presentation. It's definitely not the strongest. I have absolutely seen better since. I've seen better before. But, you know, I think for what we could have gotten, it could have been more. And I think that's the thing that kind of disappoints me about this one. But, you know, I still support the format. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Tron Legacy in 3D? Have you seen it? I recommend you should. It's a cool movie. All right, let me know. And in the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I'll put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.